A foal is born, and almost immediately it tries to stand. A human baby is born, and for a while it needs an adult just to help carry its own head. A strong opening for the most intelligent species on Earth. And the strange design choices do not end with infancy. We grow up, sit down in front of a laptop, and discover that the human spine is not entirely convinced by this whole walking upright experiment. Then we step into the sun and burn. And sometimes the immune system looks at an ordinary peanut and decides the invasion has begun. It is a strange picture. The most technologically advanced animal on Earth looks like its body was released in early access. So if we really evolved here, why does it sometimes feel as though we were built for a completely different planet? In 2013, Ellis Silver gathered these human oddities into one convenient theory. Humans did not originate on Earth. And at first, the evidence sounds suspiciously convincing. Our backs hurt. Maybe Earth's gravity is too strong for us. Human childbirth is so difficult, it is as if the engineers enlarged the baby's head, but forgot to update the exit. Some people burn quickly in sunlight. Others can end up in a hospital because of food that a squirrel would steal without even saying thank you. It is a decent case file. Back pain, difficult births, sunburn, allergies. Add our habit of staring at the stars, and the space theory is almost complete. But there is one problem. These features show that the human body is imperfect. They do not show that it is extraterrestrial. Our skeleton follows the same basic plan as the skeletons of other primates. The same arm bones, a similar spine, 5 fingers, and a tailbone, a modest souvenir from ancestors who actually had tails. There is no part of our anatomy that suddenly appeared from a separate biological system. Scientists have not found a cosmic charging port hidden under the shoulder blade. So the idea that fully formed humans were once dropped onto Earth can be set aside. But the problems themselves are still here. Why does the spine suffer? Why is childbirth so complicated? And why did evolution leave us with so many solutions that technically work, but clearly came without a warranty? To understand why the human body looks so strange, forget the word design. Evolution does not build anything from scratch. It takes an old model, moves a few parts around, and hopes nobody asks for the warranty department. By around 4 million years ago, regular upright walking had already become an important part of life for our ancestors. It freed the hands and made movement across open ground more efficient, but the spine had been inherited from 4-legged ancestors. Evolution simply turned the whole structure upright. That gave us spinal curves, vertical compression, and the familiar experience of standing up from a chair at 35 like you personally witnessed the fall of Rome. The pelvis also had to be reshaped for walking on 2 legs. Later, brains in the genus Homo grew larger, and babies developed larger heads. The result was a narrow, complicated birth canal, where the baby must rotate while passing through. To be fair, humans are not the only animals with difficult births. A spotted hyena gives birth through a long and extremely inconvenient canal. Evolution has a gift for solutions that make you want a second opinion. The human solution was different. Our babies are born helpless. They grow slowly and spend years learning. That gives the brain more time to develop and gives the group a reason to share food, protection, skills, and knowledge. We are not broken. We are expensive. And the next payment for that biological upgrade was almost hairless skin. Sweating is not the most glamorous superpower, but it helped humans keep moving in extreme heat. Water evaporates from the skin and carries heat away. Less body hair means better cooling. The downside is that after this particular upgrade, our skin was left without much of a roof. That is where melanin comes in. Melanin is a pigment that absorbs part of the sun's ultraviolet radiation and helps reduce damage to the skin. So saying that humans are simply not adapted to sunlight is far too broad. Our ancestors spent thousands of generations adapting to different levels of ultraviolet radiation. Near the equator, darker pigmentation provided vital protection. Farther north, ultraviolet levels were lower, and the balance changed. Protection still mattered, but sunlight also helps the body produce vitamin D. And there was no single biological button marked "Make Skin Lighter." Geography, diet, migration, and the separate histories of different populations all played a role. Then, humans invented the airplane. Now, someone can spend the winter in Northern Europe and step onto a tropical beach 8 hours later. Your genes did not prepare for the vacation, so sunscreen is not evidence that humans came from another planet. It is a patch for moving between environments much faster than evolution can follow. The sun did not betray us. We simply change climates faster than our bodies can change with them. But that still leaves another question. Why does the immune system sometimes declare war on an ordinary peanut? We wash our hands, drink clean water, and use antibiotics, and that is a very good thing. Modern sanitation has saved millions of lives, but it created a new situation for evolution. An ancient defense system suddenly found itself living in a world that had changed much faster than it had. For most of human history, the body regularly encountered parasites and a huge variety of microbes. One tool in that defense system is a type of antibody called IgE. IgE can help trigger immune reactions against certain parasites. Today, the same defensive machinery can sometimes react to a protein in a peanut. The security guard has lost most of his usual intruders, but the alarm button is still connected. In 1989, epidemiologist David Strawn proposed what became known as the hygiene hypothesis. The idea was that reduced exposure to certain microbes early in life might affect how the immune system develops. But cleanliness does not simply cause allergies. Genes matter. The microbiome matters. Diet and air pollution may matter too. So the immune system is not weak. Sometimes it is simply taking its job extremely seriously, even though the job description changed a long time ago. But space did leave us one genuine clue. In 1969, a small meteorite broke apart above the Australian town of Murchison. It did not destroy a city. It did not cancel the dinosaurs. It simply scattered dark fragments across the countryside. But inside those fragments, scientists found organic compounds formed beyond Earth, including amino acids, raw materials that life on Earth uses to build proteins. That distinction matters. These were not bacteria. They were not living organisms. Space delivered ingredients, not dinner. In 1973, Francis Crick, one of the scientists associated with discovering the structure of DNA, and chemist Leslie Orgel went a step further. They proposed directed panspermia. This is the idea that simple life might have been deliberately sent toward Earth by an intelligent civilization. It sounds like science fiction, but the question was raised by real scientists. And the basic possibility of biological material traveling through space is not completely absurd. Some microorganisms can survive extreme conditions, especially when protected inside rock. Tardigrades can endure brief exposure to vacuum and radiation, but that is still a long way from earning a business class ticket between star systems. Interstellar travel takes an enormous amount of time. Radiation damages cells, and entering a planet's atmosphere can heat the surrounding rock. Even if something survived the journey and reached the young Earth, panspermia would explain only the delivery. It would not explain where the first life came from. It would not explain who produced the original sender. It simply moves the biggest question to a different address. So humans almost certainly developed here. But the strangest leap in our history is still ahead. Intelligent animals existed for millions of years. Why did technology explode only in our species? Intelligence is not a human monopoly. A New Caledonian crow can select a branch, shape it into a tool, and use it to pull food from a narrow gap. Chimpanzees use sticks to extract termites. Elephants remember other individuals for years and react in unusual ways when they encounter their remains. Nature did not hand out intelligence only in our department. So why are crows not asking for the Wi-Fi password? Because a single clever trick is not enough. The human breakthrough began when a useful idea stopped dying with the person who invented it. Picture a campsite in Africa around 150,000 years ago. Someone is learning how to strike a stone core at the right angle. The first attempt fails. An older, more experienced person demonstrates the movement. The next attempt is better. Later, a younger learner receives that skill without having to discover the entire process from the beginning. That is cumulative culture. Each generation receives the achievements of earlier generations as its starting point. Our hands can reproduce precise movements. A long childhood gives us time to learn. Language and gesture allow us to explain errors and demonstrate solutions. Even FOXP2, often described as the language gene, is only one part of a much larger system. Speech depends on many genes: the brain, hearing, breathing, muscle control, and years of learning. Cooking may also have provided the brain with more accessible energy, but one campfire is not enough to produce a civilization. The first craftsperson made a sharp stone. The real breakthrough came when the second person did not have to invent it again. There is no new human species standing between the first stone flake and the modern smartphone. There is the same kind of brain learning to combine other people's solutions into a shared memory. A phone contains the knowledge and labor of millions of people, and it is held by the same primate who will complain about neck pain 10 minutes later. We did not redesign the body. We surrounded it with external solutions. A chair supports the back. Sunscreen takes over part of the skin's protective work. An epinephrine autoinjector can buy precious time during a severe allergic reaction. Technology became an extra layer of human adaptation. Then that layer grew to the size of a city. Schedules coordinate thousands of strangers. Servers store knowledge outside any individual brain. Ports move resources across the planet. Biologically, we are still ancient primates. In practical terms, we are apes with administrator access. And this is where the real problem appears. Culture can change in years. Genes change across generations. We build new environments faster than the body can adapt to them. Along with comfort, we create pollution, destroy habitats, and alter the climate itself. None of this makes us extraterrestrial. The spine, the skin, the immune system, and the brain all show how deeply Earth-born we are. But for the first time, life from Earth is building machines that may carry it away from its home planet. We are not aliens who arrived on Earth. Not yet. The real question is this: when the first human footprint appears on alien ground, what exactly will we bring with us?